I miss theatre for a very different reason, because there I felt empowered. In cinema, I don't feel empowered.
It's a commercial film, and it was sometimes quite silly. And I used to literally, I remember standing in a studio in Calcutta and holding back the tears and hoping that this film never releases. Nobody will have to see me behaving so stupidly. It must be so weird for our childhood friends, no?
Right.
He's suddenly,
Yeah.
banda itna famous ho gaya. I feel for them, no?
This is Delhi, New Delhi,
Early winter.
early winter. December
Yeah.
is early winter.
And today we are going to DU.
DU, as you are DU alumni.
I am DU alumni, you are DU alumni, and
Abhishek.
Abhishek is also DU
Yeah,
alumni.
Abhishek Chaubey.
And I'm very excited to go back to North Campus after many years.
Yes, and how much nostalgia that hits you. It does.
Normally I can completely forget about it. But if I'm there, I mean, there's so many lovely memories
Right.
once I'm there, I think, then I get quite taken in by the whole thing.
All thing.
Yeah. Don't you?
And with me, that nostalgia factor doesn't work. I really don't know how.
Not even about home.
Not even about home. Sometimes I just want to go back because I want to have certain kind of food, or say just meet my childhood friends.
Yeah.
Not other than that, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe because I stayed in a boarding.
But you have it about home, but not about college, you're saying.
No, not even. Obviously, I look at that phase as very enriching time. You're coming from a village and then suddenly in small town, and you were getting into Delhi University. It's a whole new cultural experience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I was scandalized, because there was nothing to scandalize you. But the wonder that this world existed all this while when you were doing your school, right? You should have been here.
So you felt when you came to DU, you felt immediately comfortable. I belong here.
I belong here. And
Shuru se, matlab before doing theatre.
Yes. No, I mean, the next day, the first college day, I still remember, I was not a very talkative guy, very shy, on the back foot, all the time. So I met these people who were talking to me, talking among each other in English, and one was from Cynthia Public School, the other one was from Mayo, and someone else was from some other public school or boarding. So firstly, I couldn't even understand a word what they were talking. Then there was this friend of mine. Now he's still my friend, Pankaj Mishra. He said something in English, and I said yes. I couldn't get it.
I do that sometimes.
So what has happened, that I realized that it's a whole new cultural place for me, and I have to really learn many other things. And second day of college, I saw this group of people performing a street play in university, and I said, "This is what I want to do, and this is why I have come to Delhi." So I didn't waste a time. I went to them, and
Immediately. Matlab itna confidence tha.
More than confidence, the focus was there. And I have come to Delhi not for DU. I have come to Delhi for theatre. So I immediately went to them and I said, "Can you please include me with you guys?"
And you were doing anyway theatre in school back at
It was
not much.
and skip the whole cultural activities. That's all. But yes, elocution contest was a very professional thing to do in my school. So that's why my love for poetry remains intact, and it's very intense. I love to recite poetry. So in Hindi, English, whatever. So I went to them, and immediately they included me in the group. And from that day, I started performing.
And you felt at home.
And I felt at home. Then I had a purpose. I had a very clear-cut purpose in Delhi. So that's how I remember Delhi University. I don't remember Delhi University because of the classrooms.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Delhi University uh, for my street plays,
Yeah.
for my for all the proscenium theatre that I have done with for by Hindu
And you
college.
worked with so many contemporaries who then came later to Bombay. Many of them went
Many.
on to professional careers, successful careers.
Successful,
Shahrukh, I
yeah.
think, is one of them. Barry.
Barry,
And-
but in Delhi University, I met Vishal Bhardwaj. I met Ashish Vidyarthi.
Yes.
Then there's this actor called Lalit Paramu. So many. Sudhanwa Deshpande. He's still kind of with Jannat Manch.
Yes, even we did, we watched and did also street plays with, watching them and doing on our own thanks to Janam.
Ha, Janam. So Saptar became my friend much later when I started doing professional theatre at Monday House. So he became a very good friend of mine. Also because he got very curious about me. I used to land in Monday House at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and under one Mayurban Chao Guru, I used to learn Chao early in the morning. So he was quite interested to know this young man who comes so early in the morning.
Yeah.
And he's the only person found inside Mandi House doing something worthwhile.
Mhm.
So he wanted to know me more. And that's how he started coming to train himself in Chao. Though he had no inclination to do it. He just wanted to understand what Chao is and what this Manoj Bajpayee, what kind of person this guy is. And that's how we became attached. So and now tell me, I'm going to talk about Saint Xavier.
Okay.
No, sorry, Saint Stephen.
Stephens.
Okay. So I used to go to Stephen only when exam was very close, and I had to take notes from someone, for history. And
So you did history.
I did history, but the entire year I could hardly touch the book
Yeah.
or read anything about history.
Yeah.
Everything that I was reading, it was only about literature or drama or newspaper.
And actually, I did English literature, and we had a lot of plays and this whole theatre of the absurd, which we did in third year.
Yeah, you did in third year.
Third year we did.
So what I used to do, I used to take, I used to organize the books of
History ka? Yeah, English ka?
English ka. And I was doing history. And I was not interested in doing history.
Yeah.
I was doing it just
You
for the
should
heck
learn
of
English.
it. No. So
What made you choose history?
because the English literature was something, I came from Hindi medium, and taking the English literature straight away was
Thought it would be a jump or
suicide.
something. But
complete.
history, matlab.
History. I said I'll
Copy
manage.
it.
I'll manage. But if at all I cannot give my exams in English, I'll memorize my lines, memorize all the notes, and give it in Hindi. And I used to manage it very well. 1 month of preparation, I used to manage second division, and that's all I wanted. But yes, I used to go to St Stephen,
Yeah.
and I realized that there was certain kind of a atmosphere there which was completely different from the rest of the DU. Have you guys ever felt that when like you were residing there or you're going there, but you are
Yeah.
coming out? It's a
But it's a
totally-
very closed bubble, yeah. See, because I went from Calcutta, which was quite a sheltered, privileged kind of a background.
Right.
I know. And from Cal, in fact, when I went to Stephens, that time there were 2-3 friends also from Calcutta who were already there. One
then-
girl was already there. 2 or 3 of them joined my batch, of whom I
Right.
knew from Calcutta. So, and I didn't get a hostel over there.
Oh, you didn't get.
And we didn't get, we used to
you
call
were,
it res.
So you were staying outside.
So I was staying outside. In fact, it was great because, college mein, they used to have this thing that girls had to come back by 8 o'clock. So if you're doing theatre, if you're doing rehearsals, then you can't come back by 8 o'clock all the time. Sometimes you're rehearsing till late also. That has also happened. So that I was very happy that I was not living, because they were very strict. Girls' hostel was very strict.
Right. Okay.
And non-boys at all. They could come back whenever they wanted, which was very unfair. And I was so shy that my whole first year I couldn't even audition. I wanted to a little bit, or I don't even know if I had acknowledged in myself that do I want to, do I not want to, I don't know.
Right.
But just the thought of कि सब सीनियर्स के सामने जाके ये मतलब मुझे करना पड़ेगा, this was just too much. My heart would start beating too fast. My breathing would become shallow and I wouldn't be able to say it only. So I said, I'll do backstage and all. Because I used to enjoy that world very much. I used to do backstage. So why I'm saying is, it's not like, it was a very sheltered background. It's not like I went out a lot from Stephens, Kamla Nagar tak. And wahan pe we used to, Tagore Park mein we used to live, some friends together. And we used to go to other colleges to do plays.
Plays, right.
In those festivals. And wahan pe I clearly, of course, the most impactful was KM. Because of Keval
and the players,
and the players, and they had some fantastic plays and amazing actors even in my time, and of course legends we had heard also from earlier. So, and before experiencing anything like this myself, I had been hearing this forever.
Okay.
Ki Stephens to ekdam alag hai. It's very cut off, it's elitist, it's very privileged, which is probably true.
More than elitist, what I felt that it had its that whole tag of being an elite college never occurred to me.
Okay. But it existed. People used to say.
Right. I mean,
at least my
everyone
time,
talked about
people
it.
used to say, yeah.
So everyone talked about it, everyone mocked at it. So, that used
so
to
we used to feel embarrassed. We used to actually not acknowledge. And even it's remained that habit till today. If somebody asks me where you went to college, I'll say DU, I won't say Stephens. Because it invites a certain response.
Right.
If I say Stephens, oh, acha. Sometimes people do say, not always. So we used to not say too much. We were embarrassed by this little elitist tag also.
Looking back, since you came from Kolkata, right? Looking back, how do you remember your days in DU?
With a lot of love and nostalgia, I have to say.
Yeah,
lots. Because, I made some great friends. And many of them have come to Bombay now.
Right.
Many of them were working in the film industry also, whether they are writers or production design or whatever it is. So many of them have come to Bombay as well. But I remember with a lot of love because I enjoyed very much. I enjoyed studying literature. I enjoyed the college life a lot.
Right.
We did a lot of plays. So we were reading a lot of plays also and doing a lot of plays and studying also plays and whatever it is that it was.
That is part of your curriculum.
But first time I was living outside of home, my first big romance.
Right.
So it was a lot of freedom, which I had not experienced because Calcutta, that's why, Delhi still actually I knew because I used to take buses in Delhi. It was horrible, but I used to take buses in Delhi. Calcutta, I never used to take buses. Because, living with my mom and sheltered upbringing and all. So I actually that way knew Delhi also a little more.
Like I remembered you as a major instigator and contributor, both. It instigated me to learn. It instigated me to make friends with people who could contribute to my, to my whole being. I wanted to transform myself completely from the boy that I was into something which I couldn't recognize. So the whole urban behavioral pattern and also education, knowledge, theatre, diction. Not only English, it's also about Hindi. So I'm from Bihar, so our pronunciation was all haywire. So I wanted to learn everything, and DU has played a major part
in shaping you, the person you became.
So the street play that I was doing, and the director of it, he was completely tilted towards Marxism. But that is what it has done to me, that, it has exposed me even to that thinking. Those books, Russian literature, Chinese literature, and it was essential for everyone to read a book and then come for the discussion. So there used to be a real charcha on the
But
books.
you are saying this is outside of academics.
Outside of academics.
How lovely.
So, and I was enjoying that aspect of my life and you much more than when I had to go and attend the classes. But what has happened in turn, that Dilip Simeon, who was the rock star of history, modern history, he recognized that in me, and he saw one of my street play shows. And in Dilip Simeon's class, it used to be packed, because the students from Stephen and Hindu used to come to attend his classes. And there used to be no seat. Students used to just stand and that whole 1 hour in the classroom, just to be there when Dilip Simeon was teaching. But Dilip saw my play, and then once I entered his class and there was no seat, and he asked someone to just stand up and go stand in the corner, and I said, "You deserve this seat." I went in the front, I sat there, I didn't know what is he doing, is he trying to tease me or insulting me for not being a regular in the class? Then he said, no, don't worry. You deserve this seat more than any one of them here.
Wow.
Because you are very clear as what you want to do in life. All of them are beating around the bush.
Yeah. Amazing. But
It is amazing.
But what a great teacher that you recognize that potential in a student.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I became friends with my teachers. And those teachers used to call me for all the evening get-togethers whenever they used to have it.
Oh, lovely.
But they never invited anyone from the class.
Wow.
So, and they were my friends till the time I left for Mumbai.
Right.
Yeah.
No, well, the first you went to NSD, no?
No, the NSC I tried. I tried three consecutive years. I never could manage to get into it. So that's another story.
So funny now how this life works out.
Yeah.
And then after that you went to Bombay.
After that, I mean, I spent 10 years here, including my 3 years in Delhi. So that was because I just fell in love with theatre.
But I've heard people talking about your college performances.
Yeah?
I have heard from other people, I can't remember just now, but I've heard from other people, and they may have also heard stories.
Right.
So your stories of your theatre days in college are still famous.
Oh.
And you yourself were telling me about the dancer that you played. What is the play?
Right, Netwa.
Netwa.
Netwa is the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a very tough role.
But it was one of your best, you have said.
I mean, that has really catapulted me to some kind of a theatre stardom here. People watched it more than 4 times, 5 times, 7 times, 8 times.
I wish you could have watched.
Yeah.
You see, but what about now? You don't miss theatre now to do?
I miss theatre, and I may do a play very soon. Because I want to take a break from cinema acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cinema acting, I mean, yes, we are actors and we enjoy acting. That is beside the point. But I miss theatre for a very different reason, because there I felt empowered. In cinema, I don't feel empowered.
Why?
Because in cinema, I feel that I'm dependent on other departments. My performance, as you were mentioning yesterday, that there are too many factors, attached with your performance.
And
it's not only you.
You said yesterday also, this thing about director's medium and cinema as director's medium.
So, and it really prepares you physically, mentally, emotionally. It really aligns you completely. And that happens to every actor, not only me. But the days were of complete poverty, but those days were when you could not get time to think about the poverty. So it both ways. Like if you don't have money to eat, you are not thinking about eating because you are so involved and engrossed into what you are doing that you're forgetting that, you didn't have food.
That doesn't happen to everyone. How lovely that it happened to you, though.
Yeah. So
even we were very broke. I think it's a good thing to be
it's a good thing
broke
to be
when
broke.
you're young.
Yeah, you're good because you have that energy, you have that passion for whatever
And
you're
you have
doing.
to know how to survive.
And you have to know
little
how to survive. I think it should
life
be
skill.
Yeah, life skill.
Yeah.
This teaches you life skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it used to be, we used to live almost like a chawl it was in Vijayanagar,
Yeah, Vijayanagar.
Oh, sometimes we
I
used to
stayed
live
in
there.
Vijayanagar once.
Same
Yeah.
here. I lived there because, we used to live in Tagore Park and then, those landladies and this and that, whatever.
Model town.
Model town, yes. And then we moved to Vijayanagar, some friends, ek saath, and we were very broke and very poor. At least we used to feel very broke.
Right.
And there used to be power cuts sometimes. There used to be power cuts, it was very hot and we were right on top, on the topmost floor. And we used to put water on the mattresses and the long common balcony which is there in that chawl kind of a structure often. So we used to put the mattresses over there with water at night because
Delhi
ki garmi.
Delhi garmi. And if you get to stay in a Barsati here,
I did.
Summer used to kill us.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Summer and mosquitoes. The two things.
Mosquitoes, I can't remember now, but I remember living in a Barsati and of course very cold and very hot also.
Very cold and very hot because that's...
But I don't remember the cold, the hot, the lack of the money as you were saying. I just remember having great times. I remember it like that.
That's what I'm saying.
But human beings are like that. No, we forget the bad things. I tend to forget the bad things.
No, I tend to, because this is what I'm trying to say. When I remember Delhi for all of these things because it really shaped me up. It gave me an opportunity to, choose between, between two people as to who will be my friend, who I want to hang out. But there was this guy who was very interesting, and there is this Dilip Simon. So I chose Dilip Simon to hang out with because somewhere it gave me that choice. What do you want to be? You want to do on masti? So this guy is fantastic, or you are really interested in evolving, so be with him. So, because I was always feeling that I'm lacking a lot, coming from a place which is not exposed to this world, so I'm lacking. So that, what do you call it?
That reminds me.
That mindset, also a sense of urgency was there in my mind, that I have to learn it fast. I have to, shape up. I have to shape myself up very fast. I have to adjust into this society very fast. I have to know the ways very fast. So I don't have time. So I think it was a kind of sense of urgency in my mind. So,
but you didn't feel shy or awkward or embarrassed.
I used to.
But you could overcome.
Yeah, no, I used to just throw myself.
I used to avoid. I used to feel so shy. I used to be like, I used to be like that, always wanting to hide.
So all my roommates used to make fun of me whenever I tried to speak in English. So what I did that I started entertaining them with my bad spoken English. I said, okay, if I don't speak, I will never learn. So let me entertain them. They used to fall down laughing.
Listen, it used to happen to me with Hindi. Because
I know.
Yeah, yes. Because we did, Bengali in school. And then I went to an international school. Right. And there the Bengali also level was not very high. So my mother was deeply disappointed. But still, and sometimes I would make very stupid mistakes in Hindi. So my Hindi has improved a lot since then. But still I feel I'm lacking. It needs to be better.
No,
but I used to say these very funny things like, instead of jaldi me nervously, I would say, oh, karengu. Or something really, so embarrassing. My friends still today remember and they ask me to say.
So, and there was this guy from Nigeria, Indian guy, born and brought up in Nigeria. And he didn't know Hindi. He knew Gujarati, I think, or Punjabi. That was his mother tongue. Or English, that's it. So I made friends with him. because he was not really judging me or my bad English. So I had to speak in English. I was forced to communicate with him in his language, and that suited me just fine. So I used to hang out. All my friends, who is still my friend, they used to look for Manoj Bajpayee. Where is he? For lunch or for some hangout, or when they are going to watch a film. And I just prefer hanging out with him and trying to speak in English, trying to learn English from him. And that guy really, really helped me.
Are you still friends with him?
And we lost touch as soon as we were out, because he went to Nigeria. And after that, we lost touch completely.
It must be so weird for our childhood friends, na?
Right.
कि suddenly
Yeah.
बंदा इतना famous हो गया. I thought it's strange for them, no?
So once what happened, that there was this guy whose father was in the World Bank and on a very big position. So he was also my roommate for 2 years, and he used to laugh at my English the most. That guy used to call me, "Hey Manoj, come here, let's talk in English, make me laugh." And he was somebody who was completely unaware, unfamiliar with the film world and the theatre world. He was not interested. He was just a very studious kind of a guy. So once he was in Bombay and he said, "Is this Manoj?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm Manoj." "Hey Manoj, I'm Jent here." I'm like, "Jent who?" "Oh, you forgot me. I was your roommate." I'm like, "Jent." And then we started talking in English. And we were talking after
So many years.
14 years, 15 years. And suddenly there was quiet on the other side. I said, Jent, are you there? Jent, are you there?" Yes, I'm here. "I'm feeling like an ass, man." "What happened?" "You're English."
He actually said.
Yeah.
So for him, it was like another person only.
Another person
Because you
only.
had made yourself what you wanted to make yourself.
Right. So it took so many years to reach there, and constant effort. That's why these are all the things I remember.
Remarkable.
So this is why I started this conversation, because that's how I remember Delhi. That's how I remember Delhi University. You just
Learning and shaping your future self, which is remarkable what you did.
Yeah.
Because I think I was just chilling, romancing, eating, and studying and all also. We had, and our college was also a little strict like that. Attendance and whatever, this, that and the other. Then when did you decide to go to Bombay?
Okay, that happened all of a sudden. I came here to complete NST, and then right after NST go to Mumbai. Somewhere I was interested in learning the craft more than just going straight to Mumbai. But
Mumbai was always the end goal.
that was in the beginning of it. Then I forgot. I just forgot my Mumbai goal.
Oh wow!
I didn't want to
Because
leave.
you were so immersed and enjoying yourself here.
I was so immersed here, and I felt that this is not right that I have to leave Delhi. I'm just so happy here. And Shekhar Kapur, he took us all in Bandit Queen, and one evening in Chambal, we sitting and chilling with him, and then he started asking hard questions. He asked us, everyone, Raghuveer Yadav, Nirmal Pandey, and everyone, what are your plans after the film is wrapped up? And all of us in unison said, we'll go back and do theatre. He said, how long? We said, we never thought about it. And tomorrow you will get married. Where the money will come from to support your family? We said, who wants to get married? Then I said, suppose you fall sick tomorrow because you guys are not getting younger. How are you going to treat yourself?
Fall in love also.
Huh?
Fall sick, fall in love.
Fall in love. So
what do you do?
What do you
fall
do?
In love, fall in love.
So we didn't have answers to those questions. And
What made you think?
That made me think.
Yeah.
Very bad.
But parents were not asking. Pressure was not coming from home.
No. But because parents, with my family, my parents were quite happy that I was busy and doing things on my own, not taking money from them, because they had 6 children. So they wanted all of them one by one to be independent and get off their head. So that was the whole mindset. But these hard questions we never asked ourselves, because we were so immersed into doing what we were doing here and very happy doing theatre without even thinking about the future or money. But also there was no distraction, Gogo. Digital distraction wasn't there. There were not too many channels offering you roles in TV. And Doordarshan was there, and that's all. And we could never think of doing any small play or small film on DD, because we looked down upon it. It's mad.
Even I was such a big snob, I can't tell you. Actually, I sometimes feel I still am. I don't think it's a bad thing.
It's not
like
a bad
if you have
thing.
high standards, I feel. And not to think that somebody else is beneath you, not like that at all, you know. But I'm just saying this because while I was in college, I just remembered that I got offered my first role as an adult. I had done, as a child actor, I'd done quite a few films. I wasn't very interested, but you know, my mother needs somebody, Rituparno was family friend, they needed some kid or something, and I used to just do. And then I got offered this film, which, you know, very lovely man, the director, Konkona Sen, and that film went on to do very well. It was a Bengali thriller, you know, about this teenager who's in love with an older man and all. And it was a little, you know, the sensational type, like that little negative character stalking this older man. And all. And I used to, you know, look down on all this. I remember because, you know, here we are doing, you know, seminars on theatre of the absurd or the Dadaist movement, surrealist movement and all that. And then over there in Calcutta, between my second year and third year, I went to shoot. And, you know, it was a commercial film, and, you know, it was sometimes quite silly. And I used to literally, I remember standing in a studio in Calcutta and holding back the tears. And hoping that this film never releases. And nobody will have to see me behaving so stupidly. First few years in Bombay must have been hard.
Very hard, because you're not doing anything. There is no difference between a boy coming straight from a small town or a village without any experience in acting and you coming from such a strong theatre background. And there's no difference.
Was not given any, the worth was not recognized.
No, worth was not recognized, because these are two wannabe actors standing in that office for work on the set. So you were treated equally. So many things, and then you are without work. So when you are without work, the poverty kind of pinches you much more, right? And it was true with everyone. But Saurav was far more calmer, I would say. He used to be a soft, what do you call, a very gentle company in those hard days. Saurav was like that. So for Saurav, he never looked at the hard day or tough day as tough day. He always looked at it as if it is going to go. In the evening, we are going to somehow manage few drinks, make food. And this is what
cook yourself.
Saurav used to cook those days. I didn't. I used to hate cooking those days. My job was to wash the utensils and do jhadu pocha in that trawl room.
I also done. Even I couldn't cook then.
So you have to divide work. You have to contribute.
And it's a great learning. That's a
obviously
kind of
survival. So in Mumbai, it was like initial days were very tough, very, very tough. Not because of anything else, because you're not working. In Delhi, we were working. You know, there was a purpose in that day. There is a rehearsal time. There is another rehearsal.
And your work is being appreciated.
You're
working with friends.
And Barry. You know, I stayed with him for 7 years. And every morning it was my job to go to Spastic Society and conduct a workshop with Barry. Okay, then in the afternoon, right after that, we used to go and conduct a workshop either with some school children, 11th standard, 12th standard, or you are going to Paharganj slum area and you are working with the street children. So with Barry, my life took a different turn altogether. So he shaped me up in a very different way. Barry was like a true mentor. He used to look at me very quietly, and quietly he used to give me directions without letting me know that he's giving it out to me.
Yeah.
No.
It never felt like an instruction.
No, not at all. And Barry was never like that.
I remember when I was in college watching Barry in that Othello.
Oh, yeah.
What is it called? A play in black and white.
Right.
Farewell Desdemona. Watching those and just being enthralled by Royston and Adil and Barry.
Barry
doing workshops and all that.
Yeah. But have you attended any workshops with Barry? Yeah.
Yes. He too came to our college and did a 2-day workshop as well. And uske baad Bombay aake bhi we have done.
Right.
Me and a few friends and things like that. Recently he called me to his studio also to talk to his students.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've known him little bit, not very closely.
So my life, I was like his,
his right-hand person.
Right-hand person. So if I was assisting him in all the workshops that he used to conduct with the street children and spastic children, then he started giving me the responsibility of taking those workshops independently for him while he was busy doing something else.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you, in your preparation for your films today, do you incorporate or use some of those exercises or techniques or things that you've learned from that time?
So what Barry has taught me, I mean, you have read so many, books on acting.
I haven't.
I have read because, I felt I didn't have any other choice.
Yeah.
Because I thought that, whoever goes into National School of Drama or any kind of this reputed institute, they have to read. So I used to read outside. What I couldn't do inside, I mean, couldn't get into inside, so I used to get their books or use their library.
You always got what you wanted? Eventually,
find a way.
You've worked.
Yeah.
No, you have worked and made it happen.
Yeah, that's how
I'm not saying that you've got what you wanted and mil gaya, matlab, on a platter.
So you worked your way around then, if you're not getting it directly.
But maybe it's also the clarity of thought,
of
knowing what you want.
Right. That was, that's something I always had, that purpose and focus. That is something which was all. If I decide today that I have to lose weight 8 kg, I'll lose it. Then I'll give up.
Very admirable quality.
I'll give up everything. So I used to smoke like 15, 20 cigarettes a day. And people take time in quitting. And one day I realized that no, I go to the gym and I'm huffing and puffing. It is not doing good to me. I should quit. And the packet was there, lying there on the table for another 6 months, and I didn't touch it. Shavana said, I'll throw it, man. No, don't throw it. I want to quit when he's still lying there.
See, the first day, on an impulse, you get that thing. But the second day, third day and all, it's just mental strength.
It's just a mental strength. It's
willpower.
It's all here. But having said that, I must say that after Barry, when you leave for Bombay, like when you came to Bombay, how you came to Mumbai?
I had no plans to come to Bombay. Because what happened, I did that Bengali film between my second and third year. And then after that, I enrolled in an MA. in DU. But I hated it. I hated it because, I had gone to international school. So their literature was of a high standard. And we were doing that Milton, Donne, Chaucer, that typical English literature stuff. I did it in class 11, 12. I did it again for my BA. And again in bloody ME, again the same things are happening. So I was a little bored of it. The building was very ugly.
Yeah.
Okay, and that really, that particular building, and so many colleges are so beautiful in DU. But that, anyway, ME ka building was not very ugly with, pan stains and whatever, and the same old nonsense. One day the teacher, I remember they reading aloud a poem in class and then asking difference between simile and metaphor. And I said, this is not holding my interest. And meanwhile, I had done that one film. And then after that, Rituparno told me to do Titli, which also I did. just for a lark, and it was kind of good, and it was fun and easy. I was not crying like, oh my God, what am I doing? I hope it never releases. So that was very nice. And then my mum offered me Mr. and Mrs. Iyer. I of course told her, no, don't be silly. Please take a South Indian person. Take it $1 million. Why? I don't want to do. But she tricked me and she sent me off to Chennai. And to do her research. I got into it fully. Hum to research karne aaye hain and all that. Stayed in Chennai, did the research and all. Then I did that film. And then, after doing that film also, I thought, now I'll get a job. Now I'll get a real job. I used to look at the newspaper who classifies me for jobs and all. And, but then after Mr. and Mrs. Iyer released, then I started getting more offers. I won a national award. I was very young. And I started getting a lot of offers, and I got, this Ammu I did with Shonali Bose, my first film about the 84 riots. I did a couple of other films also, and then I got offered Page 3. I was not living in Bombay that time.
Oh, you were not living in Bombay that time?
No, I think Madhur had just made Chandni Bar, which was we all loved, and Taboo, and Chandni Bar was lovely. And then I thought, wow, Chandni Bar director, I must do. And so I went, and that was shot over many months. So I used to be in and out of Bombay, in and out of Delhi, in and out of Bombay, in and out of Calcutta, feeling very unsettled. And for a few years it was like that, like a couple of years. So what happened is I realized that, I'll have to get a place in Bombay because I'm here a lot and I'm having to stay in hotels or, friends' apartments. And, it is an unfair cost to the production. I was not, anything big at that time. So then, and I was very reluctant कि फिर मैं आ जाऊंगी मुंबई, फिर काम नहीं मिलेगा, उसके बाद क्या होगा, फिर क्यों आए, and all. I used to think like this.
So you were a reluctant actor. Still, even till Page 3, you were a reluctant actor.
I think only after then I found that I'm living that. Then I did Nasir's film, Yun Hota To Kya Hota. I did mixed doubles with Rajat Kapur. And then, so I was shooting a lot in Bombay. So then I decided, I said with my cousin, I'll take an apartment. I'll just try it out for some time and see. Otherwise, we'll go back to Calcutta. I had no problem at all going back to Calcutta and getting a job in advertising or something.
So then, what, it really makes me ask you a very pertinent question. Are you still a reluctant actor?
No.
Huh?
I don't know. I think, my personality is a little bit like that. Then ठीक है, आप लोग कर लो, मैं नहीं करूँगा, मैं ठीक है. This is my personality a little bit because that was the kind of child I was. Introverted, shy, little bullied, reading a lot, absent-minded, forgetting things. That was the kind of child I was. So but what happened is later, I think, after a few years of being in Bombay and doing even films like some other films which did well and I got some success or some respect and things. After that, Manoj, after I had my baby. And so there was a gap. So what was happening before that? I was busy only, na? I was busy. I had some friends. Those days I didn't even have so many friends in Bombay. They came little later. I was on my own journey, I was doing my work and pata nahi what I used to do. And then after I became a mom and I had to take a gap, that's when I missed it. I missed it and there was a certain anxiety कि मिलेगा ना इसके बाद काम नहीं तो अभी क्या करेंगे? अभी तो काफी time हो गया. If I had to get a job, I should have got a job earlier. So then, the first time I went back after my baby was I got a role where I had to play a 60-year-old Gaur Hari Dastan's wife. And I thought, wow, they say in films that motherhood really ages you, and it really does because I'm playing a 60-year-old. But I said, I'm going to do it. I have to do it because I have to get back. And the first day, Manoj, I drove back. Also because the film world was somewhere very familiar world to me since my childhood. But I remember seeing those big, I don't know, HMIs or whatever they're called from a slight distance. I just feeling like,
I'm coming home.
And sitting down for makeup early morning. And then appreciation came then. Gratitude, appreciation came then. Before that, I was just busy or doing something or the other. I don't know, always just doing something.
No, I wanted to know that because suddenly I realized that, is it still there or not? So
you tell me, you also seen me so closely.
Because you work so hard. When you are working, you are so focused. You want to, perfect it.
No, I have to work hard. Whatever you do, you have to work hard.
Yeah, so that's why. So that trait is there in you. and you must have been very good in studies also, right?
I was. When I was a little older, I became good in studies.
Yeah, so that's the main thing about your personality, that you want to be, you want to really perfect whatever you're doing that day. You want to really perfect it.
That feeling of whatever I do, if I'm doing it, then I have to do it properly.
Properly.
It's not because I think I'm innately like that. I think innately I can just switch off and just become like.
I don't think you can switch off. I don't think you may use that time to read a book that you just started, something like that.
I can read a book, I can have a chat, I can, whatever, relax. But then I have this fear, if I'm doing it, then, I shouldn't be caught.
Right.
तू नहीं हो रहा है, इससे नहीं कर पा रही है. मतलब at least basics though I have to be able to do. Just stand there, say it properly, whatever. And early years when we used to work, Manoj, a lot of the time the lines and all were quite bad.
Okay.
You don't feel so?
Quite bad, no?
No, my early films, some of them were quite silly. Many of them.
So anyway, so that's your journey when you were trying to be critical of your own work, because all of us are. When you look back, you can't even stand yourself, and you feel that you were not good enough. Just be good enough now, at least. Time has passed, okay, and people didn't catch you. So that now that gets me to Abhishek Chaubey. Without promoting his series, because I don't know, there's something about that man, about his stillness, about his quietness.
He is very knowledgeable and
a very knowledgeable and learned guy.
He knows a lot about a lot.
Yeah.
Love it.
I
love it.
And I personally feel that I somehow have this desire to know him in his alone time, in his room, at home.
You do know him?
No, I don't. Because he goes to his place. What he does when he goes back, what he does when he wakes up that early after his routine is over, what is he reading? How is he educating himself? How he is making himself so well informed? All of that. Like Barry used to be very open, and I used to stay at his place all day. I knew what all Barry does. There was one thing that I have realized with Barry, that he doesn't waste even 5 minutes of the day. So either he's sketching or he's writing, or he is making a schedule for next day, or he's reading newspaper, or he's sleeping, or he's eating. He's quite a foodie and a bad one. He never had a control over the quantity. Even if it is just plain rice and dal, Barry never had any control. So likewise, I want to know what Abhishek does. All of us know that we party together, and then he directs you. But I am always very curious about the people I admire, what they do
in their downtime.
Or when they're sitting alone in their room, or what kind of book they're reading.
I get the feeling that he's also quite a loner, but I may be mistaken.
No, he is a loner. You're very right.
He spends a lot of time, I think, reading, spends time writing.
Writing, yeah. So, yeah, because how he is keeping himself so, as you said,
Nourished. Mentally nourished.
Yeah. And
lovely, that's a lovely quality.
And he's so cut off from the rest of the industry. And he doesn't want to be acknowledged or recognized. It's so amazing.
It is. And I'm so glad that his talent is recognized.
Right.
Because then, it gives you hope.
Yeah, it gives you hope.
Sometimes maybe some films we don't make money or whatever, that's okay, but also this.
Right. he doesn't go to film festivals, but he still has he's somehow managed to watch those films.
And film awards also, I think he doesn't always come for public
nothing
events or parties. I mean, even, I don't know, I don't also go that
doesn't
much,
go.
but he doesn't go only.
It doesn't go.
Or even if he's gone, it's just a quick appearance and before you know it, he's left.
So every time I worked with him, this is Killer Soup is my third outing with him.
Yes.
And
So the other two are Ray.
Hangama Kyun Hai Barpa and Soncheria. That's fabulous. And when you feel proud when you watch any frame of it and you say, "Oh, I was also part of it." So it's like your filmography suddenly starts looking good.
Your filmography needs no help. Just want to say.
I was watching Bandit Queen in a private trial for the first time. Shekhar kept a trial for Bandit Queen, and he
When was this?
Long back, 94 something. And we were all invited, and I went there and I saw the first scene of Bandit Queen. I said, no, I don't think I'm part of this. This is way too great. Whatever I'm seeing is too great. I've never seen something like this. It's like watching Gandhi, that kind of.
You couldn't believe that.
I couldn't believe.
Part of it.
Yeah. Or then I thought he may have chopped off my role.
Yeah.
Because I can't be part of something such a mega, amazing, out of the world thing.
And what an impact it had on all of us. Yeah.
And those many years back,
Yeah.
Bandit Queen. Here we're talking about, we are still discussing alpha male.
That's true. That's toxic masculinity.
And it was so long back. But any film of yours where you felt that?
I had this imposter syndrome, I think. You know what they call nowadays? I didn't know it was called that. Well, I didn't that anything great that I could remember, but like, for example, in Mr. Mrs. Iyer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
हमने तो कर दिया, it was fun only.
It's not about you.
Later people would say.
It's not about you or your
performance.
Your
film,
performance.
you're saying.
Yeah, just looking at it and thinking, oh gosh, I'm really part of it. Because others, the visuals of it, the director's work, the editing, the other actors, and you feel that they are so good. They are. Am I that good or not? So but it happened with me in Bandit Queen, and it happened with me in Soncheria.
Yeah.
So that is where Abhishek's, because when you were shooting, you didn't know how the end product, or how it's going to look like, and what is your director trying to achieve in a larger perspective, and that's
Maybe a little bit in
Omkara, right.
But I don't remember this feeling too much.
The experience of shooting, and when we watched it.
Yeah, but your own stuff when you watch, not your own performance, but a film that you worked on, it's hard to even view it as a separate film or show or whatever.
You know what occurred to me when we were watching? The shots of the city, those mountains, Manjur views, how he shot them. It suddenly struck me, and we were so busy to even register those things.
I understand now what you're saying, because what happens, even if you read a script,
Yeah.
you know what you've done in your performance,
Right.
but later when the frame comes together, there's
Yeah.
a lot actually you don't know
No.
what all has gone
Yes.
on, even if you've read the script.
Even if you read the script, and suddenly you feel that is it real that you're part of it? So with Killer Soup, many times it has happened to me when we're watching episode-wise, that this is where Abhishek was looking at it this way. like your scene, your cliff scene. I was not there. Okay, you guys just took off to shoot. And when I saw it, I said, "Oh, this is the way he was looking at it." It's
recognize
it's-
what you're saying.
yeah. This is cinema. This is cinema. This is he was looking. I mean, he wanted to capture it this way, this frame, this lens. This is the perspective. Yeah. So, yeah, many times, directors like him, they really make you awestruck. I mean, it does to me. I think only for that reason that I'm still so interested in acting in cinema, because theater is something that always kicks in, and all the time when I'm.
So it was a great relief to see it all together. Because it was whatever, like the complicated storyline. So much is happening. Not
So much,
complicated,
yeah.
but there's just so much is happening. And during the show, we had to keep it all in our heads,
Right.
or in our notes. or
Notes,
whatever.
yeah.
So it was a great relief. We sajab ke abhi dikha rahe hain. That was a very nice thing.
Good. Good. So should we go to DU now?
Let's do it. Let's go to non-campus.
North Campus.